Reading the book, Who. The book talks about how to find the right people to hire. Not people to hire, but the right people to hire. And not voodoo tactics, as they call it. There's a lot in there about outlining what you're looking for, and I don't want to just go look at competitors and copy people. That's not the way I'm running any part of this business. We can take from, learn from what other people are doing and figure out what works for us. But if we're gonna be the best and different, we have to figure out ways to do things ourselves. For these people that come and join us, and the real important things are ad spend management. You need experience, you need organization or be organized, you need to be detail oriented, analytical, consistently communicate, proving that you can do that, passion about the industry, going to conferences, listening to podcasts, certifications, and then time management and task oriented. Those are the things that we need from people, and the rest of this is really just describing what those are going to be. A few different things we're looking for. You know, if we're looking for additional buyers, we need somebody that has managed $20,000 in spend monthly on one account, or $200,000 in ad spend monthly. So that is a good way to say not just 50 accounts at $500 or whatever the numbers are. You need to manage $20,000 a month for one account. That's a good amount of ad spend. You're doing a lot of different testing. You're figuring out things that don't work, that do work on a daily basis, and you've got some sort of organization in place for yourself and your tasks and management of the accounts, so we won't have to take you from 0 to 100. And at 200 in ad spend monthly, it means you manage multiple accounts or are capable of handling big sums of money and won't get completely stressed out about that kind of thing. Oh, and you have to have increased the spend. So it can't just be that you come in, manage, and not rock the boat. There's gotta be a little bit of a push. I need to see at least one account that you've taken from $10,000 to $30,000 in spend, or something like that. It can't just be lead gen. I need guys that are, or gals that are really good at e-commerce in general. It can't just be lead gen. You've got to have depth of knowledge, because we work with a lot of consumer good brands, so we got to have that. The time frame was 2 years, so we're hoping that someone's been in the industry. I don't want somebody that's eight months in. Though you will learn a lot in 8 months, we need you to have a couple years under your belt. You know, maybe, I don't care if you've been in multiple shops. I just want to know that you've been doing the same thing for at least 2 years, ideally 5, but 2 is enough to really get you a good understanding of what the industry, how it works. If for experience, we have budgets increasing, ROAS increasing, multiple accounts and optimizing accounts. Being organized is pretty straightforward. Being detail oriented and having analytical skills is whether you can use Excel or not. Very simple. I mean, somebody can be a Google buyer, for example. Facebook maybe less so, but a Google buyer must know how to use Excel. Absolutely necessary, especially if you look at using something like Google Editor. Which is a very, very great tool for us to mass upload changes and things that we want to add to accounts at once. Very time effective. If you're working multiple accounts, you got to use that. If you're going to use that, you got to add Excel. I mean, you can do Google without it. Just use your brain, figure out keywords that work. But in order to effectively work multiple accounts, you've got to know Excel. We want somebody with outside knowledge and strategies and tactics that work. Probably has a lot to do with working in an agency previously, things you can bring to the table that we aren't doing or could do, don't know about, and presenting. Obviously, if you come in, you got to do the stuff that we need you to get done because we're hiring you to do a job. But after that 60% of the workload or tasks have been assigned, or whatever the percentage is, there will be an opportunity for you to go above and beyond to show us what else we should be doing once those things that we need to get done are done. Spectacular. Show us what other strategies we're missing. Where are we blowing it? You know, what other opportunities are there out there? I need somebody who knows something like that. I need an expert in either shopping, search, or display. I gotta have that. And I need a depth of knowledge in campaign setup and structuring. So we don't need buyers that we're gonna come in and we have to hold their hand through the setup process. I mean, you gotta know how to set campaigns up, you know, but that's a big deal because some buyers might never have actually set the campaigns all the way up. You know, maybe they're walking into an agency and all the accounts have already been set up. They already have wind in their sails, and all you have to do is manage it, tweak some keywords, make some bid adjustments, and they keep their job. That's not what I'm looking for. I need somebody that can explain to me how they would strategize search, shopping, and display if it's Google. What's their strategy? And examples of times they've increased ROAS by 1.5 or 2% or 3x, whatever it is, and how they would do it in a repeatable way. Somebody that understands the guts of strategy and how you're going to make things perform as good as possible. I'm just gonna read this. Plans, organizes, schedules on an efficient and consistent basis. Work on multiple accounts without confusion. It's so important. You know, if you're working on 8 accounts, which is ideally 8 to 10 is the number that we think we want to work on per person, per platform, that's really where we need to be. And any more than that would potentially be way too much, unless it's Facebook and creatives are provided. So now you're just optimizing and loading ads. For Google, 8 to 10 is really a good number. And if you're not able to have organized reporting, manage those accounts seamlessly, and show us examples of how you've done that, it's just not gonna work out. Long term, it's just not gonna work out. If you don't have the organization and the consistency there, not gonna happen. Understanding how to optimize campaigns and structure them, we talked about that. Be able to consistently log, document, and communicate changes and optimizations to the account. This is important because if you're not talking to the client account manager or success manager needs to be able to see what you're doing and reiterate that to the client if they're not actually touching the ad. So you need to be communicative. This is very, very important so we understand what has been done and there's not this fire drill right before a meeting where what's been done, which, you know, can happen if everyone's just got their head down accomplishing. When we're talking about passionate about the industry, like I said before, I want people that are committed to educating themselves constantly. What Udemy classes have you done? What certificates have you got and are you actively going to get? And I'm not talking about like, look at the question, Google the answer real quick. I'm talking about, have you actually taken these in a proctored setting so that I know for sure you know the information? What conferences are you going to, or do you want to go to, or do you even know about? Maybe you don't have the money to go to these conferences, but you wish you could go to X conference, and why? What goals do you think it would be cool to have? What awards would you like to win? Tell me about some recent changes. How do you stay apprised of changes that Google makes or Facebook makes? Trying and testing new things. What things have you tested lately? What's the last win you had on a new concept that you tested or A/B test that you did? At a high level, we want somebody that has experience targeting an audience of people that is totally unaware and can bring those people from totally unaware all the way to conversion. And what did all the steps look like in that process? I want to hear about their prospecting ads and the copy they went along with it, the different stages in retargeting and how they set it up and why, what different mediums they were on, and how they came to their conversion cost. All those kind of things need to be able to be said quickly and concisely so that we know you'll be able to do it again. We need people that can think independently. I need you to be able to Google an answer for a while, figure it out yourself. And in the occasion that you've tried, you can't get the answer, you just ask. And I understand that asking first is much faster, and that's the only reason you ask people is time. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, if you spend enough time trying to find the answer, you will find the answer. But there is an opportunity cost there. Once you've spent the time, it's important to ask because someone might know the answer immediately, could save everyone a lot of time. So I need somebody that can be achieving things, finding out information themselves, but also has the humility to ask and say that they don't know and they're looking for help. That's really important. So those are the notes we have for looking for an employee, somebody that's a buyer that can come in and help us grow this agency that's moving quick. If you think you fit the bill, obviously reach out, but I'll post this up and put another video up when we refine it even more. These were just the little notes that we have in the journal here. So thanks for watching this video. We'll see how it goes when we actually start reaching out to people, but my name is Bobby Dietz. We'll see you in the next video.